Hi geographers, welcome to your Cat Help video for this week. Your second set of questions about coastal systems and landscapes. A couple of 4 markers and a 6 marker. I'm just going to talk you through how you should go about approaching each of these questions. So for the first question, contrast the characteristics of constructive and destructive waves. Key thing here is to really focus on that idea of contrasting. Okay, so contrast is all about difference. So within your answer, you want to make sure that you're clearly referring to differences between the waves. So don't give me a list of features of constructive waves and then a list of features of destructive waves. Choose a feature and then say how it is different in each of those waves. Second question, outline the concept of a sediment cell. So you need to have a look back in your notes if you're not sure about what sediment cells are, and pull up for me some concepts, some points about what a sediment cell is, how sediment is inputted and moved around that system. With both of these questions, remember that because they're worth 4 marks, you want to be making 4 distinct points. Okay, so in the case of constructive and destructive waves, that might be 4 differences between them, making sure that they're nice and specific, maybe with some numbers or some evidence in there. And the same with sediment cells, you want to make sure that you are giving me 4 nice, clear, distinct ideas about what a sediment cell is and how they work. For question 3, you've got a 6-mark question. And this is a 6-mark question which involves you analysing the data in a figure. So if we have a look here, it says within the question, figure 5, okay, is an image of the coast in the vicinity of Chabahar Bay, Iran. Well, you might think I've never heard of that place before, but that doesn't matter. Okay, you're not being assessed on your knowledge of this place, just on your ability to analyse the data. So it says here that the image focuses on the movement of sediment. Okay, so we're thinking about how sediment is moved around this area. We've almost got like a little sediment cell in this photo. And you want to analyse the data that is shown in figure 5. Okay, remember that with these analysis questions, we want to be picking out 3 things. Okay, the acronym T is a good one to remember. Trends or patterns. Okay, E in the form of evidence. Okay, and in particular, manipulating data. And then A is anomalies. Okay, anything that doesn't fit that original trend or pattern that we saw. Okay, now it's important that you get to grips with the key for this map. Okay, so each of the arrows shows the movement of sediment. Okay, a pink arrow like this one here and this one here shows the movement of river sediment. A blue arrow shows movement of sediment by the wind, particularly sediment that is being blown inland by the wind. So we've got one here and one here. And orange or yellow arrows indicate the longshore transfer of material. Okay, so we can see one here. We've also got an area of erosion and an area of deposition marked out on the map. Don't forget that you want to be looking at the numbers associated with each of those arrows. Okay, so those numbers represent the volumes of sediment in 1,000 meters cubed per year. Okay, so this number here, 70, okay, this is not 70 meters cubed, this is 70,000 meters cubed per year, 10,000 meters cubed, 25,000 meters cubed. Okay, so you want to be making sure that you're quoting the correct figures. In terms of the trends, think about what you notice about the way sediment is moving down the coastline, the balance between some of these inputs, so thinking about how much we've got coming in from the river versus how much we've got coming in from longshore drift. How do those 2 things relate to each other? How do the losses from the wind relate to some of the inputs? Okay, what's the overall sediment budget of this area? Is it positive? Is it negative? How much is it? In terms of these erosional areas, Think about also the size of those. You have got a key down here in the bottom left-hand corner of the map. So use that to help you approximate the size of those areas relative to each other. Okay, and make sure obviously that as part of your description and your analysis, you're manipulating that data, as I said before, maybe adding some of these numbers together, working out differences, showing how much more one thing is than another, how many percentage points higher or how many times bigger or smaller is something. That's all good ways of manipulating that data. Okay, so have a go at that. And like I say, don't worry about trying to explain those patterns. Just focus on what the data shows you in terms of the movement of sediment in that area.